Well, Coleridge lived at Nether Stowey for a while. You can visit the Coleridge cottage at Nether Stowey. He had a connection with Althorsten, which is a big house nearby. I'm not quite sure what the connection was, but it was a friend of his. Kubla Khan was written in Porlock, above Porlock Hill, you know, where the man from Porlock interrupted famously. And of course, the Ancient Mariner, well, there's no evidence to say that it's anything, you know, connected with Watchet, but there is the statue there. And so when I think of Watchet, you know, I do actually think about Coleridge. The poem seemed to unleash a prophecy. And of course, Coleridge suffered from that addiction. So it might have been, you know, in his own mind, but bringing it closer to now, yeah, there does seem to be a connection with the pandemic and climate change. You know, these two huge events of the last year or so. The first bit of the story before, because the albatross is flying above the ship in the bottle, and that's really the first bit of the story before the mariner shoots with his crossbow the albatross. And so the line in the poem goes, "And a good south wind sprung up behind, the albatross did follow, and every day for food or play came to the mariner's hollow." And then 2 verses later, the verse in between being the one where the mariner actually shoots the albatross, in a sense relates to the first bottle I sent you. And the poem in that verse is, "And a good south wind still blew behind, and no sweet bird did follow, nor any day for food or play came to the mariner's hollow." So yeah, you can see what I'm saying, but it's definitely in my thinking, it does all kind of relate in some way to the current situation that we find ourselves in.
I think one of the things that really inspired me when I was thinking about the paper mill, and the paper from the Wandsworth paper mill was made into lots of sketchbooks like this one. And this is the book that I actually used to cut out the top, and also the people were cut out of the paper from the mill. Because I do a lot of cut paper work, it was quite a natural thing for me to do. But to work out the images so it looked like all the people were supporting one another, which I feel is what the community does. It does say, you know, I'll carry you, I'll help you, I'll put my arm around you. And I just wanted to convey that, really. I think it had so much to do, though, with the people at the Onion Collective and Jess really highlighting the dilemma of the paper mill and what people could do to help. And, you know, I think they really focused the whole community on what was possible now and to look ahead to a future.
Toni and I moved from London a long time ago. And of course, it was an extraordinary change, quite wonderful for our kids.
When we moved here from Leytonstone in London, it's that sense of freedom. We have quite a few friends who are on their own, and we felt personally that we should connect with them because some of them do suffer from depression, and to check they were okay. But I think one thing that really does demonstrate how we feel about community and how we've felt over the years is that Andy and I taught for many years at the local school. So now, if we have to go to the doctors, the receptionist, the nurse will say, "Hello, Mrs. Davey." and that just happens. Whoever we meet, we seem to have taught the whole of Minehead and Watchet.
It's simply, it's a very, very beautiful place, Neville. It's very, very beautiful. I mean, and to live, you know, in sight of the sea, but then looking inland to valleys and woods and forests beyond, and the hills, and Exmoor, is terrific. I'm not much of a poet, so I can't really describe sounds and smells and so on, just other than to say it's a glorious place.